help me as Jehovah lives by the authority of
Okay,
Jesus Christ.
thank you very much. This paper had a prayer,
I didn't
how
add
to
that
swear
in here, and
properly. It has
I
a
had
bit
a
of a
whole
history to
page
it.
of
So I'll give
types
you
of
just
oaths
a
that
little
are
bit of a
used in
background
different
to it.
parts of the world, and different types of
in the
oaths that
late
are used in court,
1980s,
and different
I
types of
had
settings.
sort of
but I just took
gotten
it
my
all
roots down.
out.
And basically had a
Because,
reasonable understanding
It may
of
well
the
be we
plan
can
of
just
God
put a
for His
generalized
creation,
one, something along
and
that
who
line
our
that
one true
people
God and
could use if
Creator
they chose
was,
to. But then
how
there's a
He's referenced
tendency
in
for
Scripture.
people then to blame you.
I spent
if,
a fair bit of time
something
before
like that is
even
used as an
baptism,
invocation to the Almighty,
studying the
didn't come
Septuagint
about and didn't take place,
and as opposed
because we're
along
writing
with
to
the King
people's
James
understanding
and
that
RSV and various other
that really
versions,
may not really understand
and
who the
found that
Creator
there
of
were
all is
sometimes
and
a
what
bit
He
of a
wants from
conflict,
them,
perhaps in
and
the
what they should be
translation of
doing
the
with their
Hebrew,
mouth,
but mostly
their
in,
words.
in the Greek.
So you have this
And,
oath-taking is a big
when
deal.
I was discussing it with
You
with
have
a
it in the
gentleman
Masonic
the late
fraternities.
1980s,
You know,
he
100-odd years
mentioned,
ago, people had their tongues torn
you
out of
should
their
read
mouth and left
Hebrew
alive
Matthew,
for
written by
releasing
Shem Tov.
some of these oaths that they were
It's
taking,
not a bad
even in the lower levels
version,
of the
or not a
Masonic
bad
fraternity. And of course, they didn't
portion
want
of
people
the
to
New
know that they were
Testament, written by
taking
a
an oath
Jew
like
from
that.
the Middle
This,
Ages,
this sort of
who, of
fraternal
course, was
brotherhood
writing it,
of doing good
provide
for mankind.
the ability
that's what the
of his
background of it
brethren
was.
to be able
And
to
see,
withstand some of
I
the
just left this example
challenges
in here
from the
of type of
Trinitarian
oaths
communities that they
we're addressing about
generally found themselves in.
So
So,
the text
you know,
of
at
the
the time I
Jesuit
was
Extreme
interested
Oath
in
of
the
Induction.
baptismal formula.
It is interesting,
and
you know,
various
makes
other
you a bit sick when
additions
you read the thing.
and,
But you can read it at
to
your
the New
discretion.
Testament.
This was actually recorded in the
Things
journals
like
of the
you know,
62nd
the
Congress,
quotes
third session
you
of the
know,
U.S.
regarding
record.
profitable servants that
And the House
didn't
calendar
invest
number
the funds that
397,
were given
report
to them
number 1523
wisely.
on the 15th of February,
And of course, here in
1913.
the
Pages
New
32,
Testament, in the
15
King
to
James,
32,
you
16.
have it says that
Which, interestingly, after it
he
was
was
posted
distressed because the
the-
fellow
the
didn't
page was
return
torn
his
out.
money with interest.
because somebody didn't
And of
want
course,
anybody to read
that
this
then
oath. If you read it for yourselves, you'll see
Causes
why.
the
And
Old
that's
Testament
exactly why
to be
uh,
put
the
over
Masonic
as if
fraternities
Messiah
formally, I don't believe they
would
do
have
anymore.
and could have
They
done
list
that,
what
which
you're
is
supposed to
lie
do
and
to
false.
somebody who releases
Because
any
the
of
word,
the oaths they
the
take.
Greek word
to
for
make
any of them
the
being
public.
translated interest is
Torture
talking
them
about
to
with
death.
profit, meaning
Well, I guess that's
why didn't
reasonable.
you
I don't
invest
know
the
if you're
funds
gonna-
I gave you
somebody's
and get
committed
me
a
a
capital
dividend?
crime, you can just
a
crush
return
their head with a
on
stone
the
or kill them.
investment.
No
Not
reason
that,
to
not that
torture
you're
them to death, but
providing
they wanted them
interest, which is
tortured to
usury
death.
and is condemned.
To
Psalm
have
15,
people afraid
or amongst
to
those,
release these
receiving
these
a
oaths
usury,
that the Masons
you'll find
require of
yourselves
their
in
apostles.
serious difficulty.
So
That was the type of thing I was studying, and same with the words
you can
divorce
see the introduction
and
to
putting
it.
away,
The superior speaks,
which are two different,
And
totally
here's the
different words in
responsibility,
Hebrew.
you know,
and
to
the sort of
act as
statement
a
is you
dissembler,
can't divorce your wife.
amongst Roman
She can't
Catholics,
divorce
be a
you
Roman
except
Catholic,
for
and
adultery.
to be a spy
But
on
it
your
doesn't
own
say
brethren.
that, and Messiah didn't
Believe
say
no
that
man, trust
either.
no man. Among
You know,
reformers, be a
often
reformer.
anciently,
Huguenots,
men
be a
would put away a
Huguenot.
wife
Calvinists, be
and
a
not
Calvinist.
divorce
Amongst
her.
other Protestants, generally be a Protestant.
so that he
obtain
could
their
retain
confidence
the income
and
he was
seek
getting
to
from
preach
her
their
dowry.
pulpits. So,
And it's
even to denounce
the
with all
words
vehemence
put away
in
and
your nature
divorce,
the
there
holy
was
religion
a problem with
and
that
the
in
Pope.
my mind, and I
you're making this-
became a bit familiar with
you're
Hebraisms
sneaking in
or Hebrew word
as
puns,
a spy.
and
To
this
virtually everywhere on planet Earth
made
you'll see
had a
it
big
as
impact
as
on me back then.
carry on
over
with these
reviewing
responsibilities.
Hebrew Matthew,
So that
and the
bottom
translations of
page
Greek
7
into
here,
English.
to fit yourself for the
So I
work
just
and
want to
your-
touch on
your
a few of these.
salvation. You will, in
these
addition to your
points before
former
we
oath of
continue into
obedience
the actual paper,
to
to
your
see you're
order
clear
of
on
the Jesuits,
where I'm coming with this,
and
because
allegiance to the Pope,
many
repeat
years
after me.
ago I'd been asked to
And,
sign affidavits, and a couple of
So
times
in the
I've been
presence of
asked to,
Almighty God,
to
to
attend
attend
a court
Jehovah,
case, and we're covering the
Blessed
ground there, and he says, well,
Virgin Mary,
you'll
that's
have to
anthropomorphic
swear
designation
to tell the truth,
of
the whole truth,
the,
and
of
nothing
the
but
false
the truth.
God, Satan,
So help me
who
God.
appears
and put your hand
either
on
as a male or a
Bible
female or androgynous.
any other book
And
that
you'll see
give
the
credence
pictures of him
to. So
with
it could have
long
been
hair and no
Bible of
shoulders.
Satan, could have been the Talmud, it could have been
because
any
he was
book I
emasculated.
chose.
So he
Something
didn't
to
have
give
any-
that statement
any,
force.
male.
And I said, well, I don't
hormones in
think
his
I
system,
can make a
and,
statement like that. And he said,
was
oh, well,
becoming
all you
a-
have to do is
a
affirm it.
male, female.
Oh,
And
so
that's
I
how you
just
see
affirm that I'm my
Put up on
statements
the
are
cross
truthful.
here, on the cross.
And that's the way way it
even,
proceeded.
Still even
And
today.
a bit later, I said, well, when
And,
another
our
lawyer
Messiah
was wanting me to
is a
do
totally
that, I said,
different
well,
being.
I said, no. He
And,
said, do you swear this,
drove
that, and the other?"
everybody out of the
I
temple,
said, "No."
including all the money
And sort of
changers,
was a bit
bodyguards.
taken aback.
So he was a man
and,
of some substance.
looked at me,
who could
And
use
I
physical
said, I
force
swear to
if
tell the
was
truth, the whole
required,
truth, nothing but the truth, so
much
help
record
me,
that he did.
Jehovah, by
only
the authority of
in
Jesus
the
Christ.
face of the powers that be.
Well, I
we're
said, by the authority of
not keeping the
Yahshua
terms of the
Messiah.
covenant as
He said,
required.
"Well, nobody's going to know who that is." And I said, okay, by the
So
authority
anyway,
of Jesus
I'll
Christ.
just
But it's so help
pull
me,
that out if you think it
tell the
shouldn't be in
truth
here.
and get my facts correct in
And,
my mind.
Goes
God
on for several
Almighty,
pages, and it's
named
worth reading just
Yehovah.
so you know
In those days, they
what-
pronounce it
what our
Yehovah.
enemies have.
But
are
anyway,
doing to us
that's a bit of some
now,
of the background as to
and have
where
been
this document
for hundreds
came
of
from,
years,
because
in
it was
fact thousands.
certainly
But,
clear in my mind that Jesus Christ
be
did
careful,
not tell people swear not,
Because
don't
be
swear
aware
at all,
that
any more than he said
covenant keeping Christians are the most
y-
hated
you're
people on the planet.
forbidden to get divorced except for adultery,
and,
etc.
and hated by
Divorce and
virtually
remarriage,
everybody.
this whole issue has caused
So rabbinic Judaism
very
to say
serious
that we
problem
are
for
to be,
brethren over the
killed like a fish,
30,
meaning
40
a knife
years,
is to be put in your back, and
people
slit
associated
upwards,
with
and then you're
worldwide
just
and other,
left to die.
other associations.
So
So,
there's, we should put a battery of
I
of
believe
quotes
that,
up on the
you know,
Talmud,
if
and
churches
what
are going
happens
to take
you,
a doctrinal
if
position,
possible,
they
to a
ought
covenant
to
keeping
read
Christian.
the whole book.
and of course, most of
and
these
make
individuals
sure they
aren't
know what
able
they're
to
talking
fulfill
about
their
before they
oaths
just
and
make a
plan
statement like that.
nowadays in the
Now,
in
it's
a modern
regrettable
era.
that some of the
They
translations
certainly did
are
previously,
intentionally
and these end
mistranslated.
times are going to bring
You know,
about
or the
the
Trinitarian
worst times in
formula
history.
for baptism is
So the
added
worst
to
times
Scripture.
in history.
It didn't
That
exist
makes
there before the
Stalin and Mao Zedong and all these guys look like
1480s, I
nothing.
believe.
So you can
So
imagine what's coming.
we have a
It'll be
bit of
very
work
nice.
to do, and
We're
we're
not
all
afraid of it.
students, and
We'll
we're all
fulfill
meat
our
eaters.
Our
So I think you
obligations
may
to our
find this
God and
interesting,
Father
but,
with love,
you know,
without
talking
fear.
about these Hebrewisms,
and, hopefully that we can
because they sort of
be alive when the witnesses come and help
George
them if
Gordon.
we're able
I think
to.
you all have that book.
But in any
We
event,
had it
we'll
available
serve
a
and
couple
love
of
our
years
one
ago
true
at the
God.
feast, I believe, and
And,
covered it.
thank you very
in
much for that.
Some detail, some points of it. But what I'm meaning is when